Brothers and sisters, welcome back to the flock. I'll go ahead and pray and then we'll begin. Father, thank you for this wonderful day and this opportunity to just rest on your Sabbath. Thank you for giving us a Sabbath so that we can find rest and just be refreshed. Lord, we love you and we thank you and praise you for the opportunity to just play a game and enjoy what you've given us and what you've blessed us with. And we ask that you use my words to be pleasing to you and to glorify you somehow, some way this day. Pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Actually, I'm gonna pause real quick just to make sure I'm recording before we keep going. So just 1 second. And we're back. I am assuming, probably what we'll do today is we will go get some first. Actually, the next thing I need to do immediately is probably plant some more seeds. In the meantime, I'll probably just make this whole place over here a big field. I think I want this to all be water. Yeah, so as I was mentioning before we got started, is that it's Saturday currently, it's the Sabbath, and depending on the denomination, there's a lot of different beliefs pertaining to it. There's some who consider themselves Sabbath keepers, and that they still need to observe it. Others say that it's no longer in effect, and that it's not required to do nothing. I personally hold towards a position where I have a conviction to not do any work and or not exercise, because I would consider that work in my book. And so I don't do that, whereas I'll still spend time with family and friends, and I'll play games and do other things. Travel, I'll still make purchases and other such stuff. But at the end of the day, whatever your personal conviction is, I think what matters is your heart posture. Is it so you can be holier than other people? Is it because it's really loving someone by doing such? And I think if you're not loving someone by keeping the Sabbath, then I think it'd impeach your witness more than it'd help it, and I think it'd be displeasing to the Lord. If you are interested in looking about the Sabbath, it was established from the foundations of the world back in Genesis chapter 2, and I believe it's chapter 2, verse 1 through 3, where it actually specifies when the Sabbath was designated as the seventh day of creation. And then in Hebrew thought, they go evening and then morning, and that's a single day. So it's not midnight like us, it's a little bit different. So if you look there, you'll find that explanation. And then if you keep going, the next time it's particularly mentioned is actually in, Exodus 16. And it's the testing of the manna and the quail, but he also says, will you actually do what I want you to do? And so there's multiple parts that are kind of pertaining to the Sabbath. And then if you look in some of what's considered the minor prophets, which would be like Haggai or Habakkuk or Zephaniah, Zechariah, pardon me for my pronunciation, those passages also have some mentions of the Sabbath and how people pollute them. And even within Exodus 16, it God says there'll be a sign for his people from generation to generation. Now, if you take that literally, or if you just believe it's a long time or whatnot, but I think it's probably still important to the Lord if he made mention of it a lot. So, one moment. Let me go to sleep real fast. Ooh, some more wheat. That's a good sign. I got some tea with me. One moment while I take a sip of some tea. Ooh, it's still hot. Hot, 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 hot. I like spicy food, but I really struggle with temperature. Like hot temperature, not spicy hot. It's weird, but anyways. Let's see. Okay, so I think probably what would be the best course of action is for me to just put a bunch of dirt down instead of trying to make this all work. And then I can just dig it out, right? Is that the best course of action? But the things that I've been contemplating recently about the Lord is I've been looking into different denominations and beliefs, Eastern Orthodox, Roman Catholicism. I have a little bit of a background in some Seventh-day Adventist doctrine. I grew up probably what would be considered like a Reformed Baptist, which is like dispensationalism, things like that. I'm probably closer to post-millennial now, if anything. And then on top of that, I am at least interested in Eastern Orthodox more than I'd probably give credence to Catholicism. But I digress. I'm not here to pick a fight or anything, just saying personal beliefs. But what I do think is important is loving the Lord and having a personal relationship with him and getting to know him. And it's okay, because I think there is some circumstances where God provides grace dependent upon what's it called? Authority, you know? There's some mention of ages throughout scriptures that leave me to believe that it's at least somewhat important. See if these guys go out. Are they going out? Yes, they are. Thank you. Let me go ahead and close that. Okay. But for the most part, I believe the Lord would rather have a personal relationship with each individual. And I think that's more pleasing to the Lord than being in the right denomination or having the right theology. When you look at the book of Revelation, and the Lord is pointing out some of the flaws of the churches lest they lose their lampstand. Ephesus, was very zealous and they're correct in their theology, but they failed to keep the love, and God called them to return to their first love. I would say, like, show by their actions, show by their ways. And that's more pleasing to the Lord than having the right theology. Now, if the theology is bad enough to lead you into heresy or away from the Lord, then I think that's and should be stayed away. But Lord willing, believers should be meek and mild and willing to hear correction or criticism, and should be honest in their evaluations of themselves. They shouldn't have such a high opinion of themselves. They shouldn't be self-righteous. I think the Lord would consider that wicked and displeasing to him. So yeah. They got back in already? Why? Okay, it's not a big deal. Let me get some more water. Let me regroup, figure out what I'm gonna do. Let's go ahead and put that there, Let's put some... I need potatoes. What if I did something like a little bit right? Nah. I'm gonna tear up some of this. I'm not a big fan of that. No, actually, I think I do kind of like that because I'll put a house there eventually. Okay, where should I put some potatoes? Well, for now, until we figure out what we're gonna do, we can at least start growing everything. I think it's like a 10. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I actually? Okay, so no, I can't get this. How much is it? Going as far as there, there, there. I think. And then we'll plant it around here. Potatoes first. Okay. Then I think we'll do another one just over here with some carrots. That should be sufficient. Oh, that's exactly 41. Okay. Let me put some torches around too. Okay, let me put a few more. It can look really bad now as long as we build it up later, right? It's not where we begin, it's where we end. And it's never too late to change something if we dislike it. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and leave my axe, make an iron axe. And then I think I'm gonna delve back into them caves. Nope, beetroot. I need to get beetroot. That's right. Oh, and I should probably put the sheep in there. Wow, I'll need to get rid of those guys first. Okay, we'll just put the beetroot right here for now. I think the best way, though, to grow and to learn about the Lord is to talk to other believers, because I believe God uses other people who is filled with His Spirit to pass on His messages, whether it's like, it doesn't have to be a specific said. Oh, that actually came together real nice. Okay. And let me put up the beetroots and the wheat. And I should get more wheat while I'm at it, actually. We'll just put one right here for now. Here's the Lord King reveal. I think a great example would be for kids with parents. I think if someone's an authority figure, then it's probably a good idea to ask them the question. So probably have some guidance. God didn't just call us to figure everything out on our own. There's been people who've come before who are willing to help us and pass on the wisdom and the knowledge and the experiences that they've had. And that's not to our shame. I think that's for the better. Because hopefully each generation is always getting better. Let me see about... What do I do about this? I guess I take them out. What about these guys? Come on. Are they hopping in somewhere? Is that what's going on? Oh, yeah. Well, that means we need to do this. We need to get rid of that. Alright, is that nitwit safe? Or I guess we could call them Nimrods, just because Nimrod is somewhat minuscule these days. But interestingly enough, Nimrod was one of the greatest hunters in the world. I'll take a slug of tea. I'm sure that just sounded lovely. My apologies. So I got buckets. I do want to take some wood. I want to put that. I want to bring that. I want to bring that. I'm actually a little low on food. First, let me put up wood. Sand. Oh, hello there. How about some... It's not a very good selection. First, let me put this back in here. Let me put this over here. And then I'll bring that. I'll bring that. Let me go out here. I know it's all a mess. It's all a mess. It's okay. We'll get there. I do want more water. What? No! I might be fighting an uphill battle. Can the water not reach it? Oh, I bet you it's because of the villagers. That's a shame. Oh! Yeah. Okay. Well, let me put these up. Seeds. Wheat. Flowers. Wool. Dirt. Put dirt in there. I need more shears. Alright. Okay. And you know what, for good measure, I should bring pickaxe. Just to be safe. Okay, now let me get some water. Let me put this back up. Alright. And I'll get one bucket. No? Because I want lava. That's right. One lava, one water. Let's head on back to the depths. And we'll need to chop that up eventually. You know, I think I'm going to put a little water over here. Ah. Yeah, let's go down here and kind of light some stuff up. The more I light up down here, I think the better it will be for me. Oh, hello there. Okay. Okay. Ooh, there's another creeper. Oh, is that it? Guess it's down here. Okay. Alrighty then. We'll go this way. Get back into those caverns. But yeah, I think it's important to be seeking the Lord and growing closer to Him and reading His Word. And I was talking with someone, and they, I think it's very much important. I'm gonna just stop that train of thought. It's okay. Let me see. I need more torches. Okay, but here's some iron. Alright. The other thing that I've been contemplating is that the Lord always provides just enough, and even within the same passage of I'm just going to do this. Even within the same passage pertaining to the Sabbath is when the Lord explains that He always gives enough, and on the sixth day He gives twice as much, so that way the people will have plenty to eat on the Sabbath without having to work. And I think people who love the Lord and who are really seeking His will are marked with enough. Not always a surplus, but sometimes a surplus so they can bless others, because God would give them more so that way they can bless other people. I think I want some of that glow lichen. I don't know if I particularly know how to use it in a build, but I'm sure I'm going to try. Let's go ahead and kind of consolidate that. Let's go ahead and put a water bucket over here. There we go. And so yeah, I think people who just believe in God so they can get what they want, I think they're missing the best part, which which is a right relationship with the creator of the universe, who loves you so much that he's willing to send his son to die for you. And if that's the case, then someone who's so kind and so merciful, so good, I think you'd want them to be your friend. I think you'd want to know them. Like, it'd be to your shame to not. Or if you don't like people like that, I think that's concerning. I think that's sad if you really don't like people who are just considerate and loving and kind. I think everybody wants to just be surrounded with people that love them. And interestingly enough, I've heard it said, oh, I don't know them that well, so I don't think it's my place to tell them such and such. Or, I know them so well and I appreciate our friendship, but I don't want to ruin our friendship by saying such and such. And the irony is that both are excuses that lead you to tell people not what they need to hear, but what they want to hear. And both, I think, are a disservice, especially if you consider them friends. This guy's got a whole decked out armor. Goodness gracious. And so I think it's important, if you appreciate your friendship, are you willing to risk losing it for the sake of doing the right thing and telling them the truth? Like, do you care for them that much that you're willing to say, hey, I think you're wrong and you need to change the direction you're going? And if not, then are you really a good friend of theirs? And I think the other thing is to be important. It's important to be willing to admit that you're wrong. So it's one thing to always say what's on your heart and on your mind, but to at least recognize when you're wrong is just as important, and be like, I told you some bad advice and I'm so sorry, because those consequences are my responsibility, and if you hadn't listened to my bad advice, this wouldn't have come of it. So yeah, and I think the more God gives us, the more likely we are to be concerned about losing it. And repeatedly, he always says, do not be afraid, do not be afraid, do not be afraid. And I think with Abraham, he wasn't afraid to lose his son. He just didn't know how the Lord was going to save him. He thought he was going to resurrect him whenever he offered to sacrifice his son Isaac, because the Lord commanded him to. But he had faith, and it was credited to him as righteousness. And through the faith in our actions, I believe that you can see their heart posture and what they truly believe. Because if you believe it, you're going to do it. And if you don't believe it, you're not going to do it. Whatever that might be. So I would encourage you to just take a time to reflect on, is there something that you need to tell your friends or your family or people that you care for, or maybe that you don't really care for and you should care for them, because the Lord has put them in your path and you're the only one who can tell them the truth. And if they reject you, okay, well, they rejected the prophets too. But especially for people who know the Lord, who know what's right. If you know what's right and wrong, then you should be the one to tell people what's right and wrong, instead of listening to other people's belief systems. Because if God created everything, then I think he's probably the best candidate to determine what's right and wrong. And if he's saying, hey, this is the right way to live to have a most fulfilling and satisfying life, then that might be the best course of action, instead of assuming otherwise or going on your own path. Now, obviously there's always going to be people who rebel against their parents, but I think at the end of the day, good parents, that's what they want to do. They want to tell you the best way to make the most out of your life and to get farther ahead than they had previously. So whether it's making a decision like going to school or not going to school, or pursuing a relationship that they wish they had pursued, whatever it may be, seek counsel, seek guidance, seek wisdom, especially from people who genuinely want what's best for you, because Lord willing, through their words and your seeking diligently, God can reveal what it is that he wants to show to you. Uh-oh, let me focus up. Hearing some mobs. Ooh, where are you at? Okay. Alright, buddy, I'm coming for you. was also reading Ecclesiastes today, and I tell you what, like, it's depressing, but it's such a good book. It just tells you the purpose of your life. Like, yeah, things that, like, mistakes you made might not be remembered in 2 decades. Or things that are embarrassing might not have that great of a consequence. It might seem like the end of the world now, but there is grace and there's mercy and there's forgiveness, especially for those who are willing to ask for it. Most people tend to be gracious, especially if they already love you. Then they're not going to just disown you unless it's something extreme. And so I would always encourage you to just live right with the Lord and with other people. You know, you can have the right ideas or you can say the right things, but at the end of the day, do you genuinely care about those that are around you? And do you want to make their lives better? Or do you just want to live however you want to live and, you know, tough to them who say otherwise? I think that's a sad way to live life. I don't think it's as fulfilling as people think or as much as we like. So yeah, grow closer to the Lord, seek His will, love Him, love others. And it's not just, well, I'm going to let them do whatever they want. I think tell them the hard truth. I think that's genuinely loving someone. And I think that's like one of the hardest pills to swallow. Is to say, yeah, you know, hey, I love you, but I think you're wrong, and I think you're really making a mistake, and you should change your ways. But because I care for you, I want you to do this. Alright. Well, I'm gonna drink some tea real fast. One moment. Apologize if that sounded awful. But, you know, God gave the Sabbath as a means to test his people. Now, what's crazy about that is that they didn't even want to rest. They rebelled so much that they didn't even want to do what was good for them. And I think that's telling of us, because I don't think we're any better than the Israelites. I think we make a lot of the same mistakes. And we like to think hindsight's 20/20, well, we know better and we're not going to make the same mistakes. But maybe a lot of time God is already telling us the same things and we're just rebelling instead of desiring to do what He's called us to. Some stuff is hard, that's testing, but some of it might be much easier. It might be a huge blessing. Okay, there's a lot going on. Let's first come over here. Let's go over here. I just kind of want to light up everything underneath my mountaintop. City on a hill, light of the world. Some puns if you get it. No. Ouch. Okay. Let's eat some bread. Did I get any more food? I did not get any more food. Oh, dearie me. Well, I'll light up a good amount more. Get some glow lichen. Maybe some more iron. And then I'll probably skedaddle. Make this a shorter mining trip than expected. Which is okay. I'll come back for more diamonds in the next episode. I don't have a whole lot of time, but I had a little bit this morning, and I thought I'd play and see how far we got, see what we got done, and at least we got some farms going, and they're not going to last because they're not particularly great looking, but okay. Okay. Cool. Doing alright. Doing alright. Man, these caves are crazy. This game has changed dramatically. For the better, I think. There's a lot more cool stuff in this game nowadays. Well, at least there'll be plenty of rotten flesh. Oh boy. Okay. There's even a drowned? Where the heck is a drowned? I think I'm getting closer. One more stack of torches. We'll definitely need to get a lot more torches. Oh, hello there. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a long adventure. Ooh, I hear a zombie. Ooh, there he is. Oh, he's got an enchanted sword. Full channel armor? Holy smokes. That's crazy. Look at that! A dirt block down here. Another drowned. Keep lighting up for a little bit longer. Enderman. Oh, hello there. Ouch. about this? Look at this. Wow. It's a cool little place. Okay. Let's go out this way we found. Figure out where I'm at. Oh, hello there. All right. Oh, quite a ways away. Oh, but some pumpkins. We don't have pumpkins yet. Pretty sure that's the mountain I'm on. So we'll go back that way. Wait a second. Is this where I first started the game? I should get some cherry wood while I'm at it. Oh, it's a-raining. Excellent. Now I can add cherry sapling to my building capabilities. Let's get up to the top here and then we'll probably change the render distance. My computer's not particularly good. Okay, so yeah, all that over there. I gotta get back up there. Whew. It's a little bit of a hike, I suppose. Once we get back, I'll probably end the episode there. get up there somehow, some way. Be careful with those drown. If there's one with the trident, it's very dangerous. But yeah, I think by placing light, it expels the darkness, and then I'll be able to have rest around my compound or my city or whatever you want to call it. And so my goal is to have rest this Saturday. Let's just go up here. Looks like this is the way to get up there. Maybe. I can go put a few of these torches down. Okay. Get another glow lichen. Yip-wee. I'll figure out how to use them eventually. Oh, it's getting dark. Gotta hurry. There's a lot of caves up here, for sure. And there's home. I gotta just make sure I don't accidentally jump into a hole. Hey, they got out. How about that? That worked out. Alright. Well, everyone, I hope y'all enjoyed the episode, and I hope this blesses you and encourages you to take a rest. God bless.